Why, aloha! It's 365 Hawaii with
Eric and Julie Zimeles.
and today we are here at the airport in Kona, and we are headed off to Oahu for the day, and we are going to do a Oahu versus the Big Island video.
Well, actually, Kona, right?
Okay, specifically the board Kona, but just you could say Big Island in general.
Yeah, because Oahu is a whole island, I guess, and Big Island's a whole island. But
Yeah.
maybe this is as you guys will see, maybe there's going to be a big old Honolulu versus Kona experience here today. We noticed that one thing about being in Honolulu and Waikiki is there is a high chance of getting lost because there's so many different kinds of streets and places that you can go. Where in Kona, it's pretty hard to get lost, right?
Just keep going around that circle, you're there.
Right, our small downtown area.
Okay, so here we are. We're in downtown Waikiki, and we're at a shopping mall, and it is crazy compared to where we are. They have got so much shopping. So,
Yeah. So one of the things that if you're living on Big Island, the word shopping mall is kind of like a word that you don't hear very often because we don't have that many.
we have one. Yeah.
Well, we have Prince Kokio and Hilo,
Yeah.
which is actually covered, and a couple outdoor shopping malls in Kona.
Very small, though. Probably 10 stores or something.
One
like
thing
that.
it's they have here that we don't have, on Big Island is when you're driving by, you see Gucci and Harry Winston.
No,
and
we don't have.
Tiffany
We
and
don't
all
have the
that kind of stuff.
fine chart.
Not that we mind, but that's not going to be there. I will tell you, though, a little story is one of the reasons I came here today is because I had to exchange my Victoria's Secret bra. And to get exchanges, you have to go to the store. Well, there's no Victoria's Secret on Big Island.
So coincidentally, we just happen to be here at the same time. So that's another thing is that most things in the Big Island are ordered.
Right, and so if you want to go to those, the big stores that you probably take for granted if you're on the mainland, then Oahu and coming down to Honolulu and Waikiki is where you're going to find it. But one thing though too that is different is the fact that there's so many places to eat, as we saw from today's breakfast. But even coming down here to the mall, there's just so many different bistros and dim sum and all the different kinds you can eat, and there's
I
10
think
different
it comes
coffee
with all
shops.
the people that are here too. I mean,
Yeah,
this place is probably
yeah.
at least 10 times more crowded
Yeah.
than
So
where we are.
so Eric, tell them how many people live on this island.
So on Oahu, there's 1.3 million people is where we're at, and on the Big Island, we're averaging around 250. So it gives you an idea of what the difference is.
Right, and they say that when tourism is in full swing on Oahu, you get 3 tourists for every 1 resident or
Is that what
something.
it's-
Yeah, it's like
No,
3
I
million
don't,
people.
I don't think it's quite that high.
Okay,
but I think it's the other way.
It sort of feels that way today in August.
Yeah.
But what we wanted to also just basically say is the fact that if you are the kind of person that loves to shop as a pastime, entertainment, and all that kind of good stuff, man, Oahu might be for you because that's not happening on Big Island. Next up is transportation. So what we're going to talk about a little bit is the fact that when people come to Big Island and they have paid for our hotel rooms up in the Kailua Coast, and then they say, "Where's my Uber?"
And sometimes Ubers don't drive up to the.
I say sometimes Uber doesn't come around because we don't have 1 million people living on our island, there's not that many Uber drivers or Lyft.
Yeah.
And taking a taxi cab ride from the airport up to the Kailua Coast can cost a lot of money, like $60.
Yeah, at least $60 to get up there.
Yeah.
So no, I mean, it's not the end of the world. If you're going to stay up there, it's great. But there's not much else up there, so you're kind of stuck.
Yeah.
So if you're on the Big Island, you definitely have to rent a car.
You do.
And I would say the car rentals are cheaper here. Did I notice it was quite expensive in Oahu? There,
Yeah.
So
We
they're
spent
about
$200 yesterday for one day
for
a
one day
car.
rental. Yeah. So, but there wasn't everything was out. But the rentals are a little bit cheaper here. But it'd be recommended on the Big Island that you get a car. Also on the Big Island, everything is so big. If you want to go somewhere, it's a longer drive than it is in Oahu.
Right.
We were laughing. We went all the way from one side of the island and we had dinner down there, and I'm like, oh, we're gonna be late to the plane, and we zoomed across. Luckily, we didn't get traffic. But also remember though that Oahu has the traffic, which will kill you all the
Yes,
time
in
on
fact,
top
we
of
have a
it.
nice little video of that too.
Yes.
Show you that.
Yeah, traffic
the
everywhere.
8-lane highway experience.
Yeah.
But basically, if you do think that you're going to be traveling to Big Island, and you're wondering if you need a rental car, yes, you do. I did do a blog post about how you can get around without using a car because we were having a total car shortage here about a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
You can run around the downtown Kona area just on foot or on a bike, but in terms of seeing our big, beautiful island, in terms of Volcanoes National Park and getting a chance to see all the different temperate zones, you need a car.
So we're going to take a break from our video here, and we're going to throw a little plug to you guys. And the plug is this. If you enjoy our content, which we hope you do, all the places we go, that you hopefully will subscribe, which makes our life better. And then the new term we heard recently is, Julie, what is that term?
Smash that button.
That's right. So you'll be instantly notified every time a new video comes up, all those kinds of good things, which again helps us and it helps all of us. That way we can get forward, we can spend more time coming here to Oahu and different things like that.
But you know what though, that subscribe button doesn't sponsor our channel.
No, it doesn't.
You know who sponsors our channel?
We do.
We do.
That's
so if you guys look in the description below, I have some links to things that we work on and some resources and things that you can do to support us, because we're like, bringing you guys the good, fun and info. So I guess we should get on with the show then, eh?
Okay.
See that behind me? See that blue water of Waikiki? That's why people come here, right? Blue water. And you can also learn how to surf out there, because those waves just kind of like ripple all in. That does not happen on Big Island. You know why? Because our island actually goes like this, right into the ocean. It's like 5,000 feet, very close to the top shore. When those waves come in, they go up and they go down. That's why we have such dangerous beaches, especially on the west side of Hawaii. So one of the big differences then is the geological features of two volcanic islands. So Big Island, obviously being a younger island, has less erosion, and obviously this, as you can see behind me, this soft, shallow shelf goes way out. So it has that beautiful blue as far as you can see. But you know what? There's something nice about that deep blue of Big Island too, and we have very clean water because we don't have rivers running into the west side of the island. And so unlike these guys where they have the Aloha Canal and they've got some stuff coming in from the harbor, I think our water quality is a little better, but they definitely kick in on these beautiful beaches. And that sand that's everywhere, it doesn't get sucked out as much as ours does, because when we have our winter waves come and it just pulls the sands right off the island. That's why we have magic sands. This doesn't happen in such much here, but there is climate change erosion happening. And right behind us, we can see that they actually cut off part of the beach because it's the waves now consistently run up against the walls. So we haven't seen that much in terms of making different changes on our beaches in West Hawaii, but it definitely is coming. So there you go. There's a little beach update on two different islands.
Let's talk about going out and having an adventure. And it just so happens that the Big Island is known as the Adventure Island. How coincidentally.
How it is. So I just got to tell you, I'm going to surprise Eric with this one.
Yeah.
So we got a comment the other day on our YouTube channel, and this guy was like this. You know what? I went to your island and it was totally boring. There wasn't a lot to do on the island. And there were people like saying, well, we didn't realize that you had to have entertainment all around. Well, that's what happens here on Big Island. You have to make your own fun.
Yeah, I would say, yes, the Big Island is definitely much more oriented towards outdoor activities.
Yep. If you're in the ocean, if you're hiking, if you're biking, if you're running, if you are doing anything outdoors, you're having the best time of your life.
Right. And then again, we don't have a lot of nightlife for that. We have I know in Hilo's a couple spots, but also here on the Kona side, we roll up the sidewalks pretty early. I think there's like one or two.
You're not having a big old party until 2:00 in the morning.
Yeah.
Right? Like you can in Oahu.
But it's just, it's again, if you're looking for the nightlife, Oahu's the way it's at.
Yep.
You're looking for late night food, Oahu's where it's at. If you're looking for good food, Oahu's where it's at. But if
food, smart.
But we do
get this.
Yeah.
Speaking of food though, but we've got a ton of farms on our island, and you can get farm fresh produce at some of our famous farmers markets on our island.
Yeah, we're definitely there's some cool stuff, and even the food. Some of the we have some really cool restaurants. We just don't have as many. Just remember, we're a small island at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So,
but can I give you a little fact?
Sure, go ahead.
Big Island is the only island in the Hawaiian island chain that could actually support itself food-wise for the people who actually live on it.
That's a pretty good
So
fact.
in terms of food security, if you do plan on thinking about actually living here,
and
that's an important aspect.
Just another little fact on that as well is that most of our food is brought in via outside the island, containers / shipped in, whatever, flown in or whatever. And on Oahu, they only have a 3 or 4 day supply of food. So if somebody stops giving them food, it's only 4 days before they run out. Here on the Big Island, we've got at least I think it was 10 days or something like that. So that's a long time.
Though, get this, because we were worried about that when lockdown started, that we have so many cows and feral pigs and chickens and all that kind of stuff that if you really had to get crazy, you could eat if you had to.
Let's talk about weather. The weather differences between Oahu and the Big Island. Well, first of all, today it's warm today. I'd say the temperature is about the same. But in general, Big Island tends to be one of the warmer of the islands out there, so it's usually hotter on the Big Island than here. And here they have the trades that tend to blow all the way across the island. On our island, they have the volcanoes that tend to stop the trades so they don't quite blow. As a matter of fact, on the Kona side, you barely get any wind most of the time there in general. So interesting. And the fact that because of our height variation of the volcano, we have 13 different climate zones, anywhere from close to being freezing all the way to super tropical. Talk about winter storms. And what's interesting, particularly between Oahu and Big Island, is that Big Island is about 200 miles south of Oahu. And so what happens is the storms that are usually going over towards the mainland tend to stay up higher. They're usually in Kauai and then coming down a little bit towards Oahu. So we don't get the storms that they do. We'll get the waves and the big crash, but we don't get that, oh my gosh, we're going to get 10 inches of rain in a winter storm. We do get hurricanes and things like that come in the summer, but we don't get those winter storms that come in. Let's talk about lodging. And what's interesting about lodging is, of course, Oahu has a bazillion hotel rooms, motel rooms, hostels, Airbnbs, all kinds of things like that. And here on the Big Island, we are definitely limited in the amount of lodgings. We don't have that many hotels.
We don't have the skyscrapers that they have next
And
to the
we have
beaches.
just let you guys know on the Big Island, we cut down the number of Airbnbs too. There used to be Airbnbs out everywhere, and I know they're doing this in Oahu too. But for us, it made a pretty big impact in the amount of housing. So therefore, I would say that it is more expensive to find a hotel room here than it is to find a hotel room.
Okay, but it wouldn't just be you saying that. Hawaii Tourism Authority actually did a study, and they found in 2019 that it was a lot less expensive to stay in Oahu than Big Island. And it was, even then, back then, you guys, getting a hotel room in Hawaii on our island was probably $250, $300, and then a bunch of the hotels had massive renovations, and then they totally renovated during the lockdown, and then they pushed up those hotel room rates by at least 50%. So it is even more, it just goes off to the left-hand side, that Oahu has less expensive places where you can stay because they have so many more rooms than we do on Hawaii Island. A week stay in Oahu will probably cost you $2,000, where we're in between Maui and there, where Maui was more like $3,300. So, but Oahu, less expensive.
The thing I do like about the Big Island is the fact that it is slow. It's not terribly slow. Kona side's it has got a lot more going on than the Hilo side, but it doesn't mean the Hilo side's bad at all. It just means there's just a different energy. But I definitely like sort of a slower style of pace, and it makes me feel relaxed. That's Farmville is definitely good for me.
I will say is they got some damn good food. And sometimes people
I like
my
food. Earlier in the video, Julie went to the best, fanciest restaurant that there was.
Yeah. So sometimes people call Kona the food desert.
But hang on, there is good food in Kona. There's just not a lot of restaurants. That's all. There's
not extremely amazing like they have in Oahu, because there's extremely amazing chefs in Oahu because they can cater to 1 million people.
Yeah, that's true.
So it is what it is. But I'll have to say, of course, up in the resorts, there's some good people, Chef Philip and stuff. But in terms of like just day-to-day stuff, so I love about the Big Island is because there's less people, I do feel like it's more of a community.
Yeah.
There are people who are on the other side of the island that they're 2.5 hours away and they're still my friend. And it's just, I don't know, it just feels like we just don't have as many people on the island, so we can like work together to try and solve some of our problems. Also, Oahu, man, I have to admit, that blue water in Waikiki
that would be my number
stunning.
Is that Oahu has a lot of beaches. And their beaches are much better than ours. The Big Island has beaches, but they're very far and very few between. You can probably count the good ones on your hand is what you can.
Yeah, we have a lot of lava rocks. And so here it's just a little bit safer to get in the water. And that blue, can't beat it. As we end this video, there's one more important topic that we want to talk about, and that is, as my shirt says, being Pono. And when you come to Hawaii, it's easy to get caught up in the excitement of coming here and going to the beaches and all the physical things that happen. But you also have to understand that Hawaii is much more than that. Right. In fact, Pono in Hawaiian actually means righteousness. It's a fact of being in harmony and balance. And by being here and just knowing that this is a sacred cultural experience beyond just a playground, it shows that you have respect for the island and you also take care of the resources. And as someone said, a Hawaiian person recently, it's like having someone come to your home where you bring your respect and you also might be able to bring a gift. And one of the things that we would love for you to do is if you bring the gift of your time. So there's opportunities for volunteerism on all the islands while you're here on your vacation. And I can put some down on the resource below, from beach cleanups to just making sure that maybe you know, just do something even out of the ordinary, like build a house with Habitat for Humanity. It's so great to be able to give back to these beautiful islands. Hope you guys bring your aloha spirit and be Pono while you're here. And if you want to learn more, we have the Pono Pledge below, and just click the link and it tells you exactly how to, like, you know, just respect the islands.
And that will say
Aloha. Hey, besides being a blogger and a vlogger, I'm also an author. I've written a few books. In fact, this is my third one. And it's 1 Year, 2 Kids, 800 Square Feet. And it's the adventures of a small family on the big island of Hawaii. It chronicles our first year here in 2005, 2006. And since we're talking about one island versus the next, if you really want to kind of a flavor of what it's like to live here, especially as a family, get my memoir. It talks about not just the years that we were here, but also I put in insights. So after every chapter, I wrote this in 2020, so they're called 2020 Insights. So you'll get more information and more kind of like basically, you know, just a feeling for what it's like to live on this island, especially in Kailua Kona. So I'm going to drop the description in the comments below for links to get the PDF or the hard copy and support me as an author, and I totally appreciate it.